So, welcome, mothers and others. I'm so excited to introduce you to someone new today. Stuart Whitlow is running for U.S. Congressional seat 31. And this is currently the seat that is held by John Carter. And we know John Carter as a Republican who says really outrageous things. He just does. He's really extreme and he says really outrageous things. So, we really do need somebody who's a little bit more level headed to be in that office in the future. So, welcome, welcome, Stuart. Can you tell me a little bit about who you are and why you're running for office?
I'm Stuart Whitlow. I'm a person who's lived in this district in Central Texas practically all my life. I raised my kids here and have really spent my entire time here. So it's very important to me that the needs of the people of this district are met. And I do not feel that they currently are being met. My grandfather, my great grandfather came to Texas in the 1880s. My grandfather, actually, it was my great grandfather who established the first operational electric co-op in Texas, in fact, in the United States. And that is still operational up in the Bartlett, Texas area in the district. And so have deep roots. It's very important to me. I think that the main reason I am running is that I am very, very concerned about our democracy and the fact that it is under attack by the MAGA extremists, including John Carter. It's hard to believe that John Carter, a former judge, would decide to turn around and attack our democracy. And by the way, he's still calling himself a conservative. There's little conservative about destruction of our democracy and the attempt to put in place an authoritarian regime in America. So this is, bottom line, is what has made me very concerned and made me want to get more involved than I have been, even though I feel like I've been fairly involved before. But of course, jumping into this race puts me front and center. It's all my time. I've retired from any other work, and I'm doing this full time. And I think it is absolutely important, not only for this district, but also for my two sons, who I want to set an example for as to what needs to be done. And I also want them to grow up like everyone. I want them to live in a full democracy, an inclusive democracy.
So, Stuart, tell me, what are the top three most important issues in your district?
Sure. As I see it right now, the top three major issues in my district. The first one is reproductive rights. Obviously, we've had Roe v. Wade overturned, and it's extremely important to get that back in place. And I will work very hard to do that. We've seen the chaos that has resulted from the overturning of Roe v. Wade in terms of women having to leave the state to save their lives or save their fertility, or perhaps both. And so we also need to continue with IVF. That's another thing that's under threat. That's very important to many people who are unable to have children otherwise. We are also, of course, contraception. The MAGA extremists are even going after contraception and the many forms that takes that women feel comfortable using. And so we obviously need to maintain the ability of our women to continue to use the contraception methods they want. The second one is, I think, in terms of importance, is healthcare in general. Of course, reproductive rights is a matter of healthcare, but the more general picture in which we have the Affordable Care Act needing to be expanded so that very few people, if any, are excluded from having health insurance. Everyone needs to have health insurance and have it as a right. And so we need to make sure that takes place in terms of that expansion. Furthermore, Medicaid is extremely important to, obviously, our low-income folks. Texas and other states rejected expanding Medicaid. That was a horrible decision. So many of our low-income folks cannot access that. We need to do whatever we can to fully expand Medicaid so that it serves all the people that need to be served in that regard. The third issue that I see now is public education. And of course, this has been right in front and center at the state level with regard to the voucher battle. And that's been a very, very important battle that the Democrats have won so far, and hopefully will continue to do so. In addition, the federal government provides more than 10% of the funding for public schools, and that needs to be increased. And I will work to do that. We not only the funding, but all kind of resources that the schools need. And in addition to that, our teachers need to be fully respected, and not just in terms of attitude, but also in terms of salaries, funding for them, payment for them. And so those are the three that I see as the current main three.
Thank you. Well, those are really three very, very good issues. Thank you so much. So, Stuart, can you tell me where we can find you right now, and what all your social media details are?
Yes, I'm at whitlowforcongress.com. Your people are more than welcome to go there and see my issue positions, as well as the many endorsements I've been fortunate enough to receive. I will point out as well that we recently had the election for the primary, and I received 48.4% of the vote, which was almost double of that of my opponents. And we're looking forward to moving forward through the runoff and into the general election. We are on Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram. Uh, so those are other places that we can be found. We frequently uh, text into the district as well. You can even, people are free to call my phone number, which is 737 346 1839. And that's my personal number, and I'll be glad to hear what people have to say. Of course, they can text me at that number as well.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for joining us on this webinar today. I really appreciate you coming.
I'm so glad to be here, and thank you for your time.
Yep.